wow, yeah, gosh, I need to take a breath, I think, because this is nuts. This is still new. This is wild, right? Like, this is me. I still can't believe it. I should believe it, and we get taught that we need to believe in ourselves, and that's true, and that's something that I feel too. But bloody hell, like, it's nuts. It's crazy, and the reason that it's so crazy is that this wasn't always me. I'm actually I'm this one. I'm the odd one out. I'm the one that ran away from home. I'm the one that dropped out of school at 15. I'm the one that wanted to be an artist, which is amazing. So I dropped out of school, but then I managed to get into college. I went to art school, and you'll never guess what happened. I dropped out of art school. So I had this pattern of dropping out of things, of being lost, and I felt lost. I felt like I didn't know what I was going to do. I felt trapped as well. I felt trapped. I couldn't see my progression. There was things that I wanted to do in my life, but I couldn't see how to get there. So I worked really hard. I worked 4 or 5 jobs for a really long time to save up enough money to buy a one-way ticket to the other side of the world, as far away as I could get, to go and try and quote-unquote find myself. So yes, I did. That's me in the middle. Not a great surfer, but it was fun. I had a really good time. I went to Australia. And it was while I was there, I was on so many adventures. I was having an incredible time. I kept seeing this thing. I kept seeing Mind the Gap. And that's a really valid and valuable piece of information when you're at a train station. You do definitely need to do that. But I was thinking about it. I was thinking about minding the gap. And I was thinking, I don't want to mind the gap. I realized that I had a gap in myself, and I really wanted to find that gap. I wanted to find the gap in business as well. I was obsessed with cinema and TV, obsessed with art and being creative, and social media and marketing, and I really wanted to find that gap in my life and the thing that I really wanted to do. And I realized that this was happening online. I realized that at that time, businesses, as I was a consumer traveling, doing all these cool things, businesses were putting out content online on social media that they thought people wanted to hear from. It was really salesy, it was really bland, really boring stuff. And they didn't realize that audiences need to be engaged. You need to show them what they want to see, not what you want to show them. So we realized that, which is incredible. I say we because it wasn't just me, it was me and my business partner, Lou. She went on this journey with me, and she's incredible. So we figured that out. And then something incredible happened. We bought a camera, a laptop, and started traveling, making videos for businesses as a way to get around the world. And it took us all over, and we had some incredible, incredible journeys. I was through mountains in Vietnam and all over the place. In fact, on that one, I think you can see I've got a cut on my leg that I burnt on a motorbike. So there was some really incredible things that we did. But I got to this point here, and I realized that I'd spent my whole life running. I was running away from school. I was running away from Redcar in the northeast. I was running away from responsibility, authority, I think, in hindsight. I probably didn't like being told what to do. And I was running, and I realized at this point that I could never have what I wanted in life if I carried on running. So in this moment, I decided that I was going to go back, come back home to the northeast where I love. I'm a Redcar girl, a Borough girl, a northeast girl. And I set up Wonder Films. So that's what we do. We changed the landscape for businesses marketing themselves online, which is amazing, amazing. It gave me superpowers as well, which is really cool. So this is what happened. I decided that I needed to stop running. I needed to focus my brain, and I needed to go home and start it up, and I did. And that's when I became Forbes 30 under 30, which is unreal. Recently, Tees Businesswoman of the Year. Like, what the hell is that? I don't even feel like a woman, so yeah, that's pretty amazing. So I wanted to talk to you about my journey, but then also the 3 rules that I found on that journey. Like, what are the 3 things that changed my life once I figured it out? Because I was on a trajectory, and I needed to do something, and I did. So my 3 rules: live, laugh. I don't know how that. I think that's my mum's slide. She's got that. That's not. I'm only joking. That's not mine. So the first one is dare to dream big, and this is so important. We are only limited by our own imagination, right? We limit ourselves. We think that we can only do so much. We don't realize that someone had to dream that they wanted to go to the moon before they made it happen. They had to dream that they were going to go to the top of Everest before they made it happen. People write books all the time. If you want to write a book, you write a book. But you've got to visualize what you want to do. And that's what we did. We visualized what we wanted to do. We wanted this business. We wanted to make Forbes 30 under 30 because it's sick. So first rule, dare to dream big. The second one is plan it, do it. This is really important because you can think about what you want to do all the time. You can dream about it, you can think about it, but it's not going to happen if you're just thinking it. You've got to write it down. You've got to plan it. There's got to be action to that visualization. And that's what we did. Wrote down the list of things. There's still things on my list that I want to do, but Forbes was definitely one of them. So we wrote those things down. Working with the types of businesses we wanted to work with: Riot Games, Hilton, Nike's on there. I haven't done that yet, but I do want to do that. But it's on the list, and you've got to have an action to where you want to go. The next one, it's okay to be a little weird. I'm a little weird. That one's me. And the reason I say that is because it took me a really long time to figure that out. As I say, I was running away. I'm really weird. And I realized that actually that was the thing that made me different. Like, that was the thing that made me different from other people, that made my business unique, that made us all unique. If you can accept your weirdness, your uniqueness, and realize that that's your trump card to being different to everybody else, which is an amazing thing. So I realized that, and yeah, I'm okay with being a little weird. Can you tell what decade that is, by the way? I think you can, it's a very 90s. Yeah. So I've got a bonus one for you as well, because everyone likes a bonus. Really important, don't be a donut. You get a lot of hate. You get a lot of hate online. You get a lot of hate in life. Got a lot of hate in school, which is part of the reason that I ran away from it. You get a lot of hate, and that hate, that doesn't get you anywhere. When you're giving hate to people all the time, that doesn't get you any place. It means so much more to be kind to people, to feel positive. We all know that negative person that brings you down when you're within 2 meters of them. We all know that person. We don't want to be that person. And positive thinking and being kind to people is a really powerful tool in life. I learned that. So those are my 4 rules, and that led me to this. Nuts. So that led me to Forbes 30 under 30. Running away my whole life, and now I'm really happy to be where I am. I don't feel like I need to run anymore, and that's a really powerful thing. There's a lot to do, and I've got an amazing team behind me, and we're doing incredible things, but I'm really proud of this one. So, drop out to Forbes. It can happen. It can happen. And the thing is, you get one crack at life. I learned this. I think we all know this, really, because we feel it. We feel that time's running out, and we've got one chance. And it doesn't matter how young you are or how old you are. If you set your mind to something, if you can dream it, if you can then plan it, you can achieve it. I really believe that. So it's on you now. What's that one thing? It doesn't have to be one thing. What's those 10 things that you really want to do? Do you want a house in every continent? Do you want to go save the rhinos? Do you want to climb Everest? What are those things that you really want to do? Because I know that you can do it. So, yeah, it's on you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing some of that. If we were to say, let's there's this whole theory about parallel universes. So let's assume now we're going to take you to a parallel universe where there's younger you.
I love sci-fi.
You know,
I love it so much.
So you're visiting a parallel universe. And this is you. I don't know, 7, 8. Because Wander's only 3 years old, right?
Yes.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
all this has happened actually in a very compressed time scale.
Absolutely, yeah.
So 5 years is actually probably about the right time scale. Maybe 8, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. Is there anything that you might tell this other you to have done differently? Because it sounds like you went through quite a difficult, painful journey at times.
I did, yeah.
Something that sounds maybe parents and others were not totally approving of. Not that that necessarily matters, but. Or do you think that basically it took you to go through what you went through to ultimately get out the other side?
Yeah, I think I don't regret anything. I took my own path, and dropping out of school and dropping out of education doesn't necessarily. I'm not saying that's the right thing to do. It's just not the end game if that's what happens. So I think I wouldn't tell myself to do anything different because I'm really happy with where I am now. But I think I would try and tell myself not to worry too much, because a lot of life can be really difficult when you're worried about what your next step is, where you're going to go, what you're not doing. I think telling myself not to worry and that everything will be okay is definitely what I would do.
Okay. So, I mean, fundamentally, I assume you're a client service business. Mm-hmm. You're working with companies of various sizes and businesses and helping them craft their message. And you're absolutely right that, the majority, whether it's the vast majority or whatever, of corporate videos tend to be almost, if not just mediocre, then sometimes just borderline cheesy and just kind of horrible, right? So I guess why is that? Why are the majority? I mean, I guess the majority of commercial films are arguably also mediocre. Mm-hmm. But I mean, ultimately, why is it that?
That was a bold statement.
Well, I'm sorry. Well, I'm not an expert. I'm just my rough estimation. Yeah. So, but certainly corporate video. I think people would probably uniformly agree. Yeah, it's generally pretty mediocre.
Yes, and it's for that reason that we feel like we know. A lot of the time, we feel like we know what that other person wants, or we know what we want to show them. Okay, so we think I'm going to show you this, and that's going to mean that. And I think what a lot of businesses don't tend to do is think about their audience and think about what people are like online now, because the market is saturated. As consumers, we get shown stuff like all of the time. You can go on Prime and you can order something and have it delivered the same day. You get sent your own personalized adverts all the time, don't you? It's really difficult to stand out. And the things that really stand out online is that authenticity, that personal touch, and that relatability between the business and the audience or the consumer. So it's that little gap that a lot of businesses miss. And they're not necessarily thinking about their audience, they're thinking about themselves.
Okay. Chloë, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was
Cheers.
awesome. Yeah. Cheers.
Thank you.